All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Sunil Verma and with me is Saira Mushtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says new parliament will be a testament to Atmanirbhar Bharat. Prime Minister to address International Bharati Festival this afternoon. India and Uzbekistan to hold their first virtual summit today. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar says government ready to discuss issues concerning farmers with an open mind. Centre seeks report from West Bengal government on law and order situation in the state following attack on BJP President JP Nadda's convoy. And COVID recovery rate improves to 94.74% in the country. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. And now, the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday laid the foundation stone of the new Parliament building at Sansad Marg in Parliament Complex. Various religious leaders performed Sarva Dharma Prarthana at the foundation stone laying ceremony. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Modi said that the new Parliament building will be the place to fulfill the aspirations of the 21st century India. He said that the new building will witness the creation of a self-reliant India.
वर्ष 2047 में अपनी स्वतंत्रता के 100वें वर्ष में प्रवेश करेगा तब हमारा देश कैसा हो, हमें देश को कहां तक ले जाना है, इस 25-26 वर्ष कैसे हमें खप जाना है, इसके लिए हमें आज संकल्प लेकर काम शुरू करना है। जब हम आज संकल्प लेकर देश हित को सर्वोपरि रखते हुए काम करेंगे तो देश का वर्तमान ही नहीं बल्कि देश का भविष्य भी बेहतर बनाएंगे। आत्मनिर्भर भारत का निर्माण, समृद्ध भारत का निर्माण अब रुकने वाला नहीं है।
Mr. Modi termed the foundation stone laying ceremony as a milestone in India's democratic history. He said the new Parliament House is a building by the Indians which is vibrant with the idea of Indianness. The Prime Minister said that he will never forget the moment when he walked into the Parliament for the first time in 2014, when he bowed down at the steps of the Parliament with respect. He said the new building will increase the efficiency of the parliamentarians as it houses many modern amenities. He said India's democracy is a system developed through centuries of experience.
भारत में लोकतंत्र एक संस्कार है। भारत के लिए लोकतंत्र जीवन मूल्य है, जीवन पद्धति है, राष्ट्र जीवन की आत्मा है। भारत का लोकतंत्र सदियों के अनुभव से विकसित हुई व्यवस्था है। भारत के लिए लोकतंत्र में जीवन मंत्र भी है, जीवन तत्व भी है और साथ ही व्यवस्था का तंत्र भी है।
Home Minister Amit Shah has hailed the laying of the foundation stone of the new Parliament building. In his tweets, the Home Minister said the foundation stone of the new Parliament House is a golden day in Indian history. He congratulated the Prime Minister on this glorious occasion. Mr. Shah said Parliament House symbolizes people's faith in democracy, which reminds everyone of the value of freedom and the struggle for it, and also motivates to serve the nation. He added that the new Parliament House will be a symbol of a self-reliant India, which will become the locus for fulfilling the hopes and aspirations of citizens. He stressed that the Modi government is totally devoted and dedicated in empowering the poor and deprived sections of the country, and this new Parliament House will be a witness to government's commitment to this resolution.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address International Bharati Festival this afternoon via video conferencing. It is being organized by the Vanaville Cultural Center in Chennai. This year, the festival is being organized in virtual mode and will see participation of several national and international poets and artists. The festival is being held in honor of the national poet Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati, whose 138th birth anniversary is being celebrated today. We spoke to the organizer of programs, K. Ravi, about the function.
It is a moment of great pride that the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji is attending this festival through video conferencing at 4:30 p.m. today and addressing the nation, paying rich tributes to Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati and presenting our prestigious Bharati Award to the great Bharati research scholar Sri C.V. Viswanathan, who compiled the complete works of Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati in 12 volumes.
Our Chennai correspondent has filed this report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi confers this year's Bharati Award via virtual mode to the writer and author C.V. Viswanathan, who has made a voluminous compendium on the national poet Subramanya Bharati in a chronological order. The festival this year is being held through video conferencing by the Vanavil Culture Center due to the prevailing pandemic situation. Vanavil means rainbow, signifying the unity. The Prime Minister has quoted the works of the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati earlier, whose poems ignited the national spirit among the public during the freedom struggle, apart from adding newer dimensions to the Tamil literary world. The event is a fitting tribute on his 130th anniversary today. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
A virtual summit will be held between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev today. This will be the first bilateral virtual summit between India and a Central Asian country. The leaders will discuss the entire spectrum of bilateral relationship, including strengthening of India-Uzbekistan cooperation in post-COVID world. They will also exchange views on regional and global issues of mutual interest. India and Uzbekistan have continued to maintain high-level exchanges in the recent past. The visits of Prime Minister Modi to Uzbekistan in 2015 and 2016 and President Mirziyoyev to India in 2018 and 2019 have imparted a new dynamism to the strategic partnership. Several government-to-government agreements and MOUs are expected to be concluded, coinciding with the virtual summit.
The centre has sought a report from West Bengal government on the law and order situation in the state following an attack on BJP President JP Nadda's convoy, allegedly by Trinamool Congress workers. The centre sought the report from the state government after BJP's state unit chief Dilip Ghosh wrote to Home Minister Amit Shah alleging serious security lapses during the BJP president's visit. The convoy of BJP leaders, including Mr. Nadda, Mukul Roy, Dilip Ghosh, Kailash Vijayvargiya, was attacked with stones, bricks and glass bottles yesterday. A number of cars, including that of Mr. Vijayvargiya and Dilip Ghosh, were damaged in the attack. Since Mr. Nadda's vehicle was bulletproof, he did not suffer any injuries. Home Minister Amit Shah has condemned the attack, saying that the centre is taking this incident very seriously. In a series of tweets, Mr. Shah said the state government will have to answer to the peace-loving people of West Bengal for this sponsored violence. He alleged that the West Bengal has entered into an era of anarchy and darkness under TMC rule. Mr. Shah said the way political violence has been institutionalized in the state during TMC rule is sad and worrisome for people who believe in democratic values. Mr. Nadda said that the change has already arrived in West Bengal and it is just a matter of time that the lotus will bloom in this Shonar Bangla.
बंगाल के बारे में एक गलत धारणा बनाने के लिए एक प्रमाण के रूप में हम सबके सामने आती है। साफ दिखता है कि यहाँ लॉलेसनेस है और पॉलिटिकल डिबेट के लिए कोई भी स्थान नहीं है। बंगाल जहाँ रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर गुरुदेव जिन्होंने विचारों से दुनिया को जीता है, जहाँ स्वामी विवेकानंद ने अपने विचारों से दुनिया को जीता है, आज ममता सरकार ने जिस तरीके से राजनीतिक घटनाक्रम चला रही हैं, वह प्रजातंत्र के लिए अत्यंत घातक, it is detrimental to the Indian democracy.
The government has said that the farm reforms have been brought forth keeping in mind the best interests of the farmers. Addressing the media in New Delhi, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said the government wanted to liberate the farmers of the shackles of Mandi so that they could sell their produce anywhere to anyone at their own price, outside the purview of the Mandi. He said the government expressed that it is ready for open-minded discussions on provisions they have objections against. He said the centre tried to explain to the farmers that laws do not affect APMCs or MSP. He said they sent proposals to allay concerns over MSP and APMCs, but farmers' leaders rejected those.
हम लोगों की लगातार पहले भी कोशिश रही है और अभी भी मैं किसान भाइयों और बहनों को आग्रह करना चाहता हूं कि आप सब ने चर्चा के दौरान जो प्रश्न उठाए थे उन प्रश्नों का समाधान करने के लिए लिखित प्रस्ताव भारत सरकार ने आपके समक्ष भेजा है। आप उन प्रस्ताव पर विचार करें और आपकी तरफ से जब भी चर्चा की स्थिति के लिए कहा जाएगा भारत सरकार एकदम चर्चा के लिए तैयार रहेगी।
The minister said the government kept waiting for suggestions from farmers' leaders to address their concerns, but they are stuck on repeal of laws. He also said that during the talks, many said that farm laws are invalid as agriculture is a state subject and the centre cannot frame these laws. He said the centre has clarified that it has the right to make laws on trade and explained that APMC and MSP are not affected by it.
एमएसपी से किसानों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा सुरक्षा मिल सके और उसमें अधिक पैसा हम खर्च कर सकें, इस दृष्टि से नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार की प्रतिबद्धता पहले भी थी, आज भी है और आने वाले कल में रहेगी। और एमएसपी के मामले में भी अगर उनके मन में शंका है तो हम लिखित आश्वासन देने को भी तैयार हैं। हम सरकारों को भी दे सकते हैं, किसान को भी दे सकते हैं, यूनियन को भी दे सकते हैं।
Paddy procurement for kharif 2020-21 is continuing smoothly with purchase of over 362.31 lakh metric tons LMT of paddy up to 9th of this month against last year's corresponding purchase of 298.79 LMT. This is an increase of 21.25% over last year. Out of the total purchase of 362.31 LMT, Punjab alone has contributed 202.77 LMT, which is 55.96% of total procurement. About 38.62 lakh farmers have already been benefited from the ongoing procurement operations with MSP value of over 68,405 crore rupees. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says new parliament will be a testament to Atmanirbhar Bharat. Prime Minister to address International Bharati Festival this afternoon. India and Uzbekistan to hold their first virtual summit today. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar says government ready to discuss issues concerning farmers with an open mind. Centre seeks report from West Bengal government on law and order situation in the state following attack on BJP President JP Nadda's convoy. And COVID recovery rate improves to 94.74% in the country. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
To get accurate, reliable and wide coverage of news, tune into AIR News 24/7 and FM Gold and listen to the major bulletins at 8:30 a.m., 2 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. in English and 8 a.m., 2:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. in Hindi of half an hour each.
Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has said that effective planning and strategic management has enabled India to keep its cases per million at 7,078 against the global average of 8,883. He said the fatality rate is 1.45%, which is well below the global average of 2.29%. The minister was digitally addressing the interministerial meeting on vaccination of South Asia against COVID-19 by the World Bank through video conference. Dr. Harshvardhan informed the audience of the vaccine distribution expertise, production and storage capacity of India, along with the presence of an experienced and vast network of professionals to streamline COVID vaccination. With 31,522 new COVID-19 infections in the last 24 hours, India's total cases reached 97,67,372. The Health Ministry said 412 people lost their lives in the last 24 hours. With this, the death toll has gone up to 1,41,772. Total active cases are now at 3,72,293. Total discharged cases reached 92,53,306. In the last 24 hours, 37,725 people were discharged. The recovery rate has reached 94.74%. India has crossed yet another landmark milestone in the fight against the global pandemic. The cumulative COVID-19 testing has crossed 15 crore mark yesterday. During the last 24 hours, more than 9,22,000 samples were tested.
The News Services Division of All India Radio brings glimpses of the year that was in our special series Year Ender 2020. COVID-19 pandemic has been the biggest story of the year, and India has seen a fight back against the disease under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Ever since the reporting of the first case of COVID-19 in India, All India Radio News has been at the forefront, raising awareness amongst the citizens. In keeping with its role as a public service broadcaster, it started a special public outreach program, Corona Jagrukta series, in March this year. Today, this program completes its 250th episode. It is a live phone-in program with top medical experts replying to COVID-19 related queries of the citizens from all over the country. Renowned doctors from AIIMS Delhi, GB Pant Hospital, RML Hospital, Safdarjung Hospital, Max Hospital, Gangaram Hospital, Nimhans Bangalore and several other centers have responded to the queries. Today, as Corona Jagrukta series completes its 250th episode, we bring you some of the best replies from the experts. Director of AIIMS New Delhi, Dr. Randeep Guleria, spoke about the symptoms of COVID-19.
कोरोना एक सिंपल निमोनिया नहीं है, उसके कई और भी लक्षण है क्योंकि वो शरीर के और कई भाग में भी असर कर सकता है. कोई जुकाम नजला खांसी नहीं हुई, सिर्फ डायरिया हुआ. कोविड-19 जो है वो कुछ हद तक खून की नाली में भी सोजिश कर देता है और क्लॉटिंग खून में कर देता है, तो इसके कारण स्ट्रोक हो जाता है. कभी कभी हार्ट अटैक के लक्षण भी हो सकते हैं. नया लक्षण आपका जो स्वाद है खत्म हो जाता है, सूंघने की जो शक्ति है वो भी कम हो जाती है.
Chairman of National Task Force and Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul narrated the significance of lighting of lamps by people to express solidarity in the fight against COVID-19.
कोरोना के विरुद्ध जो हमारी जंग है, हम में से कोई अकेला नहीं है, सारा देश जुड़ा हुआ है और हम मिलके इस लड़ाई को बिल्कुल अच्छे तरीके से जीतेंगे.
Dr. A.K. Varshney from RML Hospital, Delhi, advised people to take precautions to keep themselves safe from the coronavirus infection.
वैक्सीन डेवलपमेंट बहुत लंबा समय लेता है, क्योंकि ये महामारी इस समय बहुत तेजी से फैली हुई है. सरकारें भी चाहती हैं कि वो वैक्सीन डेवलप करें, तो बहुत सी चीजें जो है वेव कर दी गई हैं और वो इमरजेंसी अप्रूवल के तहत प्रोसेस की जा रही है वैक्सीन. लेकिन इसमें इतना जरूरी है कि वैक्सीन देखिए सेफ्टी सबसे बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट, क्योंकि अगर हम किसी को वैक्सीन से फायदा दे पाए, नया भी दे पाए, परंतु सेफ होनी चाहिए. उस वैक्सीन की वजह से कोई नुकसान नहीं होना चाहिए.
Dr. Raman Ganga Khedikar of the Indian Council of Medical Research emphasized how the testing facility has improved in India.
देश इतना बड़ा है, कहीं भी रहे उसको हम टेस्ट देने की कोशिश कर सकते हैं. ये सबसे बड़ी उपलब्धि है और उससे सिर्फ जो इन्फेक्टेड व्यक्ति है उसको हम पहचान के उसको हम आइसोलेट करने का, जो भी उसके संपर्क में आया है उसके टेस्ट करने के लिए, ये टेस्ट का जो फायदा हुआ है वो आज हमको नजर आता है जब संख्या गिर रही है.
Director of Lady Hardinge Medical College, Dr. N. Mathur, summed up nicely in the 249th episode the relationship of herd immunity and COVID-19 vaccine.
ये लड़ाई जो है 3 स्तंभों पे हम लड़ रहे हैं जब तक कि हमारे पास वैक्सीन या कोई ट्रीटमेंट नहीं आता. एक तो मास्क, सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग और हैंड हाइजीन. जैसे आप बस में ट्रेवल कर रहे हैं तो अगर सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग पॉसिबल नहीं है, आपके निकट में 2 गज की दूरी से कम कोई व्यक्ति और बैठा है, तो आप जो बाकी 2 स्तंभ हैं उनको सुदृढ़ कर लें उस टाइम के लिए. मतलब कि आप अपना मास्क तो बहुत ही अच्छी तरह लगा के रखें. अगर दोनों जने मास्क लगाए हुए हैं बस में और बस के शीशे को नीचे कर लें, अगर वो एयर कंडीशन बस नहीं है, तो एक दूसरे से हाथ ना मिलाएं या उनको छुए नहीं.
The recovery rate of COVID patients in Delhi stands at 95.23%. The city recorded recovery of 3,307 patients in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of recovered patients till date to 5,72,523. A total of 1,575 new confirmed cases of coronavirus were reported in the national capital during the last 24 hours. Gujarat recorded 1,270 new corona cases during the last 24 hours. The recovery rate has improved to 91.99%. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
The number of total cases of COVID-19 detected so far in Gujarat has reached up to 2,24,081. Out of these, 2,06,126 patients recovered. 1,465 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. More than 84,92,000 tests have been carried out till date. Total active cases are 13,820, out of which 72 patients are on ventilator. 12 patients died yesterday, taking the total deaths due to COVID-19 up to 4,135. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
In Bihar, over 2,34,940 patients have so far recovered from the COVID-19 infection in the state. Currently, 5,286 patients are undergoing treatment at various hospitals. A maximum of 2,078 patients are undergoing treatment in Patna. In all, 442 patients recovered in the last 24 hours, while 595 new cases were reported.
In Rajasthan, new COVID cases are declining. The recovery rate has improved to above 92%. The number of active cases have come down to 19,000. Our correspondent reports that the number of new cases have come down in Jaipur and Jodhpur cities too.
In the first 10 days of this month, about 19,000 new cases of infection have been reported in the state, while the number of people recovered was close to 28,500. During these 10 days, the state's recovery rate remained around 150%. During this period, there were on average 500 new cases reported daily in the capital Jaipur, while the number of new infections in Jodhpur was average 225. The number of new infections is decreasing rapidly in other districts also. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
In Orissa, COVID-19 active caseload has further declined to 2,925 yesterday. As of now, the state has a total caseload of 3,22,642 against a total recovery of 3,17,870. The state has conducted more than 6 million tests so far. Our Bhubaneswar correspondent has filed this report.
The viral footprints in Odisha continue to vanish with more and more people recovering from the infection. The state reported a high of 32 new cases as against a low of 1 case from across 25 districts out of 30 during the last 24 hours. With these, while the recovery rate in the state has significantly improved to 98.52%, making it the second best in the country, the daily rate of infection too has dived below 1%, down to 0.96% for the first time. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine has passed a critical milestone when a U.S. panel of experts formally recommended that the Food and Drug Administration authorize the vaccine. The US FDA is likely to authorize the Pfizer's vaccine within days, giving healthcare workers and nursing home residents first priority to begin receiving the first shots early next week. The US FDA's vaccine advisory panel, comprising independent scientific experts, infectious disease doctors, and statisticians, voted 17-4 with one member abstaining in favor of emergency authorization for people above 16 years of age. Although the FDA does not have to follow the advice of its advisory panel, it usually does. The US is the worst hit nation in the world with more than 15 million known corona cases. The clarion call by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to all Indians of fitness ka dose, Aadha Ghanta Rose, has received praise from the World Health Organization. In a tweet, WHO said it applauds India's initiative on promoting physical activity through this fitness campaign. The campaign, launched as part of the nationwide Fit India movement by Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, Kiran Rijiju, has gained the support of celebrities from different fields, including Bollywood, sportspersons, writers, doctors, and fitness influencers.
The External Affairs Ministry will today organize 2 virtual panel discussions on Gulf Cooperation Council, India, in the run-up to the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas PBD convention to be held next month. According to an official statement, Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan will address the 2 panel discussions. About 15 eminent panelists from India and abroad will be participating in the discussions. These discussions would feed into the plenary sessions of the main PBD convention scheduled to be held in January 2021.
the Reserve Bank of India has issued draft circular on declaration of dividend by non-banking financial companies NBFCs in pursuance of the announcement made in the monetary policy declared last Friday. Accordingly, deposit-taking NBFCs and systemically important non-deposit-taking NBFCs must have their net non-performing assets below 6% and a capital adequacy ratio of at least 15% for the last 3 years, including the accounting year for which it proposes to declare dividend.
Just within a year of operationalizing NEFT 24/7, the Reserve Bank has announced that the Real-Time Gross Settlement System, or the RTGS facility, will now be available for round-the-clock transactions with effect from 12:30 a.m. on Monday. In a statement, RBI has informed that round-the-clock availability of RTGS will provide extended flexibility to businesses for effecting payments. It added that the system can also be leveraged to enhance operations of Indian financial markets and cross-border payments. RTGS, which began its operations on 26th of March 2004 with a soft launch involving 4 banks, presently handles 6.35 lakh transactions daily of a value of 4.17 lakh crore rupees across 237 participant banks. RBI has informed that RTGS uses ISO 20022 format, which is the best in-class messaging standard for financial transactions. The feature of positive confirmation for credit to beneficiary accounts is also available in RTGS.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital is expected to have rain or thunder showers towards evening or night today. The minimum temperature was 13 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 28 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky. The minimum temperature in the metropolis was 24 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 34 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 22 and 31 degrees Celsius. Kolkata is also expected to have fog or mist in the morning and mainly clear sky later. The temperature will vary between 17 and 26 degrees Celsius. On to the north, in Srinagar, generally cloudy sky with moderate rain is expected today. The minimum temperature was 4 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 6 degrees. In Jammu, the lower level of temperature was 12 degrees Celsius, while the upper limit will be around 20 degrees. The city may witness generally cloudy sky with light rain. Leh will have partly cloudy sky towards afternoon or evening or night. The minimum temperature dipped to -7 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 6 degrees. In Gilgit, mainly moderate snow will be witnessed. The temperature will hover between 3 and 10 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The temperature will hover between 7 and 16 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. The Hindu and the Indian Express carry almost identical headlines. New Parliament building will reflect India's aspirations, says Modi. Dialogue must go on. PM quotes Guru Nanak at new Parliament function, headlines the Times of India. Government has no ego. Tomar appeals to farmers' leaders to resume talks, reports Hindustan Times. India eyes 8 indigenous vaccines, reports the Tribune. Financial Express quotes Apollo Hospital's claim that it is ready to administer 1 million vaccines daily. In veiled attack on China, Rajnath calls for self-restraint at ASEAN summit, headlines the Pioneer. Maharashtra Cabinet okays bill that seeks death penalty for rapists, reports the Asian Age. Haryana schools to reopen from 14 December, writes Hindustan Times. And finally, the Indian Express mentions the passing away of contemporary Indian dancer Astad Devu. He talked with every muscle in body and with his stillness.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says new Parliament will be a testament to Atmanirbhar Bharat. Prime Minister to address International Bharati Festival this afternoon. India and Uzbekistan to hold their first virtual summit today. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar says government ready to discuss issues concerning farmers with an open mind. Centre seeks report from West Bengal government on law and order situation in the state following attack on BJP President JP Nadda's convoy, and COVID recovery rate improves to 94.74% in the country. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.